The question is, let f of x equals 1 over x minus 2 and g of x equals 5x plus 3. And then we have two questions. Question number one, it says find f of g, and then once you find f of g, then you substitute the value 3 into this new function right here. And the next question is, it's the same as part 1, find f of g. Then once you have that combined function of f of g, then the value of x, you substitute this x into that x. So simply, when you have an x, whatever combined function you have in part 1, that will be your answer in part 2. So let's look into this problem. So I have my f of x as 1 over, and then I have an x minus 2, and then my g of x, I have a 5x plus 3. So what this question is saying is, when the question is asking f of g, that means whatever x value I have in here, I will be substituting that x value with the value of gx, which is 5x plus 3. That is how we come up with the idea of combining two functions together into one. So if we carry on with the problem, so I will have 1 over, I'm going to replace this x right here with 5x plus 3. So I'm going to put a open parenthesis. I will have 5x plus 3, and then I still bring down that minus 2 right there, and then minus 2. And then if I solve it further, I will have 1 over, and then it's just 5x plus 3 and then a minus 2. So you remove the parentheses, you'll have 5x plus 3 and just a minus 2. And then you will have 1 over just the 5x and then plus 1. And you've combined the two functions together. Now what you need to do is answer the second part of the first question, which is you need to substitute the value of 3 into x. So you are replacing x with the number 3. And then we know that our final answer when we combine the two functions is just there's only one x. So if you continue further, we will have 1 over 5 into, and then put the 3 and then plus 1, and then I'll end up with 1 over 5 times 3 is 15, and then plus 1, and then this will give me 1 over 16, and that right there is the answer for part 1. And now if you look at part 2, I'm gonna shift it to the right. Now it says f of g, and then once you solve this problem right here, and then you substitute x with this x, so what it means is this x can represent any number on the horizontal axis. So x is just the x-axis, any number from negative infinity all the way to positive infinity. And now since we already solved for f of g in the first part of the equation, of the question, so we found that f of g is just 1, it's just 1 over 5x plus 1. And then if we found the first part of the question, f of g, and then if we substitute the value of x, the x is already there. Like, it doesn't make any difference because you're just replacing. It's like this number represent like this x represent like a number. If it was a number, then we replace this number in here. But since it's just an x, we already have an x, so which means our final answer is 1 over 5x plus 1. You don't have to do anything further in that. And that is, my friend, our answer to part 2 of this question. And hope this helps, and happy studying.